Welcome to Sporting Spree, Suryansh. It's really nice to have you here today. We met last year in March. It's been a year and a very, very busy year for you, I understand. Since the last time we saw each other, you have secured a 100% scholarship to a university in the US through sports.
Yes.
So congratulations. Very happy for you.
Thank you.
So tell us, this was primarily through sports, right?
Yes, ma'am. It was primarily through sports, but academics was also a important part that you have to be good in academics as well and sports.
Okay, so academics for only 12th, or you started from?
Ma'am, academics from 9 to 12th. So basically in US, if you have to play the college sport, you have to be eligible through academically and through sports as well. In sports, you have to prove that you are an amateur player in India. You are not a professional player. No agent or anyone was looking after you. And then in academics, you have to prove them that you have got certain number of a GPA, which is minimum, which is like, so out of 4 on scale, you get 3.7. So out of 100%, 90 to 80% if you get, then you will be eligible.
So is this a consolidated score of your 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th, or individually in each year?
So basically, ma'am, from 9 to 12th, I've got 85 to 95 in between, around that, the same thing, 90, 91 or 88. So basically, all the 4-year scores matters a lot, and the more higher you have your grades in your academics, there is a much chances of getting into the better universities.
Okay, and what does the scholarship cover?
Ma'am, my scholarship, which is through both sports and academics, it covers my health insurance, tuition fees, my boarding fees, and my ticket, one-way ticket or to US to my college.
When do you leave?
I'll be leaving on 12th August now.
So I'm guessing you are fully into preparation of the trip now.
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Okay, that's great. So let's reflect a little bit on how it has been for you. You have just completed your 12th last year. And how long has your association been with BBFS?
Ma'am, so basically I started playing for BBFS in 2015 when I was in CRPF school. My Patwal sir was my coach, and he was also a member of a BBFS family. So he sent me to the BBFS in 2015 when I was in grade 5. And since then, it's been 2024, it's been 9 years. And I've been part of BBFS Academy initially, under 15, under 13, 18, till 2018. And then in 2022, I played for the senior Garhwal Heroes team. So it's been a very good journey with BBFS.
That's interesting. And you spent a couple of years with the Residential Academy as well.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. When I was with Garhwal Heroes, so 2022 to 23, I was in the residential, and last year as well, when I completed my senior high school, I went to play for Delhi Premier League, 3rd Division I-League. So I was in the residential with senior team in Shona.
Okay, that's nice. What has been your experience with this game? What have you learned from football?
Ma'am, this game, so basically like every day on the field is a different day. One day you suppose we take a shot and same area the keeper can go and save it, and the same place you again take a shot and next day it's an outstanding goal. So basically you have to accept it that some days are yours, some days it won't go the way you want to. But I more than anything, I'm just grateful that I've been part of footballs now for 9 years, and I'm still playing. So for me, it's just a nice feeling to go out and express myself, and I study also. So for me, just a relaxing feeling also that I go and get a time on football, so relax my mind as well.
So while you just said that you study also, so football helps you to relax. I'm sure that because you've played at good levels while you were studying, how did you manage to strike this balance between academics and football?
Ma'am, so initially I said I play football to relax, because I started playing football to get away from the classes, to not be sit in the class and take the proper 30 minutes or 5 hours ka school. So I started playing, so now I had tours here and there, playing for this team, that team. So during those time only, I seen a lot of players. Then I got to know a lot of players. Then I have seen, players who are becoming professionals. How's their lifestyle, and who are not becoming, how's their lifestyle, and how will my journey? How will how can I, stand out, and I can. The dream was to become a professional player, and it is there. But at the same time, I've seen players, even Europe and everywhere, they do focus on academics as well. And when I was in my senior high school, I got to know about US college sport, and there they focus a lot on academics part. They focus a lot. So if they can do that, if they can manage it, then why can't we? So at that point, at 12th, initially in 12th, I started working hard towards my academics, because I got an idea that how will this help? Earlier I was thinking, how will my academics will help me in my sporting career? But now when I got to know if I have to play in US, then I have to be good in academics as well. So this was my motivation. That was enough for me to everyday work for it, because my ultimate aim was, I told you, to go to US and play college sport.
So you're trying to say your perspective towards academics changed, when you realize this is my goal, and for me to get there, for me I have to do academics along with my football.
Yes ma'am. This is the reason when I got to know in 12th standard I scored 91% marks. So this was one of the reason that throughout 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th, or throughout my whole high schooling or schooling, 12th I got the best result.
Wow, that's great. And I'm sure this is, there's so much we have to talk about, because, there's a lot of our players in the residential academy and in our, non-residential academies who are probably looking at choosing a similar path as yours. So if I were to ask you, एक है गोल, एक है द जर्नी यू टेक टुवर्ड्स द गोल. इस जर्नी में एक प्लेयर के लिए सबसे इम्पोर्टेंट चीज क्या होगा फॉर यू टू से मेक श्योर दैट द जर्नी इज ऑन स्पॉट? वो क्या हो सकता है?
Ma'am, for me, journey for every individual player, I think is very different in a way that even if you are playing and you are better than one player in your team, but in your position, you are not fitting into suppose you are a part of under 18 BBFS team, but to play for Garhwal Heroes, you are the best player in under 18 and you play right back, but Garhwal Heroes have the best right back, and you are not able to get through it in the senior team. But that doesn't mean the other player who got into the senior team, who is not better than you think, but maybe coach like him, so he got into that team, but you didn't. So it doesn't mean you are a better player, or you should be thinking so much that why everyone is going to senior team and I am not. So I believe in this context, everyone should look into their journey and their strength. That where I believe the destiny, you'll go there. What's in your hand is to work hard and to believe in yourself, and just think that what are your strength and play on your strength.
Because this is a reality we see in the residential academies. And residential academy में बहुत सारे बच्चे, when they come to us, some of them would have probably been playing at their school team level, or would have already participated in a few inter-school competitions. Probably are doing good in their school. But जब residential academy में आता है, कई बार players को खुद एक pressure feel होता है कि maybe there are 10 other players or 5 other players playing in the same position, and they start कई बार overestimating or underestimating themselves, है ना? So वहाँ पे वो correct assessment क्या होता है? वो assessment is comparison with yourself, comparison with a peer. किसी को improve करना है तो वो करेगा कैसे?
I'll say in this a very simple thing, that everyone should play on their strong wicket. Strong wicket means that every individual have a different. You don't only have soccer skills. And if your parent is just sending you to play soccer and become a professional player, then I think that's not the right way to go about it. The right way to go about it, that you go study there, you'll play soccer, that will enhance your physical ability, and then at the end of the day, it's giving you a lot of lessons which you can't get through any other way. You are sharing a room with people, how to manage your laundry, how to eat, there is a certain things which you get to know. So I believe in that way, and you are talking about the comparison. Ma'am, the same thing that, I mean, even I was in the academy, there were players better than me. I mean, in their positions, I had my own strength. What made me going through was that I know okay, so this player XYZ is a very good in crossing, he is good in shooting. Okay, so that's not make him a bigger person in life. What makes you bigger person in life? Okay, so I thought I know how to talk. I've been getting degree. I mean, I'm studying. I go and write my exams, and so I had also certain things which you don't have. So, and he was saying I guess I was good in studies. So everyone is just jealous, or they're not jealous, or they want, you have this thing, I want this it. So I think out of 10 things, if you see, you will see that you have 6-7 things, and there's some other person wo jo aapke paas 3-4 cheezein nahi hai uske paas hongi. So you just need to be grateful, and then again play on your strong wicket.
Okay. Interesting actually, and I think I think I mean why I'm saying this is because kahi baar, say as parents or as slightly older people, we feel like okay, when we tell kids something, कई बार बच्चों को लग भी सकता है कि we are not in their position, so हम experience तो नहीं कर रहा है the experience that they are feeling, है ना? So I think from when we hear it from you, having lived that life, having faced that situation, I am hoping that it will be a lot more helpful for our players who are listening to you today. One thing that again I see is quite and I think it is a common thing. जब इतना बच्चे खेलते हैं रोज, and I'm guessing 8-9 sessions in a week होता ही है. Injuries भी तो होता ही होगा. I'm guessing कि it's a part of your growth as a player, है ना? So जब how do you handle? I mean, will these be setbacks? And अगर है तो ये setbacks को how do you handle them?
Ma'am, so basically when it comes to injury, I mean, I was speaking to Vivek Rawat sir, senior team coach of Garhwal Heroes. So initially when I got injured, so I also got injured, my shoulder got dislocated, and I spoke to so many people and they told me the right advice, this, that. But the Vivek sir told me injury हुई, मान लो आपको 3rd August को ही, but वो August को नहीं, वो January में ही हो गई थी. Then I said, sir, how? He said that if you're working on your, strength, basic things, state, workout, everything you are looking after, then there is a very less chances of injury. And even if it happens, there is very faster recovery because you have been working towards it. And another thing is that everything went for a reason. That what if you are asking my experience, I believe even I was asking why me, why my shoulder, this, that. But I think, ma'am, from my journey, if I would have not got injured, I would have not got even time to think what else other than football. Is the academics is important? I would have been playing. So now in this it's been 19 years, that's it. But if you ask me today, what would you decide? I'll 100% say that I want to take this route and go to US. And this injury made me think and research and get to know that what are career option for me. So I believe, and then every person, maybe it's a sign from the God that, you shall be thinking other thing. But I believe injuries doesn't only every time it's a setback. I think it's sometimes it's a motivation. And I was studying in one of the psychologists, he was saying that 70% the top athletes, when they get injured, when they come back, they are on their peak.
Again, you have been staying away from home most of your school life, and you've spent most of your life in the boarding school. And boarding schools में normally the biggest concern that parents have is खाना, है ना? घर का खाना तो नहीं है boarding schools में. So फिर how did this picture in your journey? Because of course, before I got into sports, or I became aware of what happens in the sport, I would have also thought कि अच्छा ठीक है, this elite players का there's a certain diet that they have, and tend to be a little expensive and all of that. But boarding schools are regular school boarding schools, है ना? वहाँ पे तो it's not like you have like an elite player's diet. So how does that work in your formation of you as a player?
Ma'am, for me, diet and in boarding school especially, I believe, the joy of sitting and eating with your teammates and your friends, is something which is, you can't get it somewhere else, unmatchable. People plan on weekends that let's meet up and let's go. So there is perspective of everything. And even at home also we complain about the food. It's not even the boarding house. And I see in the boarding, parents come and say that the food is not good, but they forget that even the kids complain in the house as well. So out of I believe I was in Vedas. So out of 7 days, 1 or 2 days, I mean, there are a lot of in menu you see rajma, chole, chawal, lot of things. But हो सकता है that person doesn't like 1, 2, but it doesn't mean कि 7 days की meal में you'll be served I think 40 to 50 times. So that ratio out of 50, if you don't like 10 meals, then for that 10 meals you can have an alternative. You can have a peanut butter or something like that. And I have been in the 5 boarding, including Vedas, to 6, which is military ka boarding, modern school boarding, on Vedas boarding. I have seen one thing is very common. The food we get is something is better than home. I'll say that, because in home also we don't get that much, that variety where the parents is looking after कि प्रोटीन मिला कि नहीं मिला. जैसे अपने वेदास में आपको प्रोटीन का, कार्बोहाइड्रेट का, नींबू पानी का, हर चीज का there is a time. So it's a discipline. At least आप एक खाने का discipline सीख लेते हो. So there is a positive as well. And again I said that out of 50 meals, if 10 is not working for you, then you need to figure out the way for that.
That's true. Interesting word you used, discipline. Jo pehle bhi when we were talking, you used that word again, and I think it also played a part in your application process for the US universities. So how can you tell me a little bit more about this word in your life?
Ma'am, basically, so my father is in the armed forces, so I have seen him whenever he used to come home, he used to wake up and then we used to go for running. And I am from Azamgarh, so over there also 5 o'clock you wake up and start your work. So for me it's like no word called discipline. As I was speaking to you before podcast, I used to go to Hostel from Rohini to Hostel when I was in grade 5. Even if you ask me today to go there, then now I am so matured, now I'll use it, struggle, sacrifice, those terms. Earlier it was fun. So I think when you use your mind to so much, then you come up with very new terms. So that's the difference, I believe. Otherwise, when those time what to do in hostel, what to do, you have to wake up and go, phones were not allowed. With us, maybe you get phone for 1 hour. So instead of sitting and sleeping, I just felt like I should go play, and then when I'm done playing, I'll study, and then if I get good marks, my parents will give me this. So that was very basic motivation. That's it. No, nothing beyond that. That made me stick to my plan.
So Suryansh, we have just spoken about discipline, and discipline का कितना एक part है life में, है ना? So now also this discipline has taken you places in your football journey. So can you take us through your milestones in this journey that you have just covered?
That's so nice of you to use it as a milestone. But I believe it's not milestone, but to me it will always be a special memory. I'll tell you that while I was in BBFS, I played 15, 16, 17, 18 and 4 years constantly. My target was to play I-League under 13, but unfortunately I was not able to make it sometime in discipline issues something. But I continuously I was continuously working hard, and the result paid me when I got into the modern school. I was looking for a club, and luckily Odisha FC announced for a trial, so I went there. So it went for 1.5 month trial, and out of 100 or 1,000 people came, and we 4 people got selected. And those who were teammates with me in BBFS, they were playing there, they didn't got selected, even though I think they had a better skill set. They playing for so many years. So that day I realized that today coach liked me. He gave me the chance. Maybe he likes something about me, some strength, and he doesn't like that person. Tomorrow it can happen with me as well. So today these good days are there. So two bad days will be there, but that shouldn't be. So I'll tell you with example कि जो बंदे select नहीं हुए, those people, those 2-3 people who were very good players of BBFS, they would have stopped playing. I mean, if they would have thinking कि we should stop playing, then that's not the right way to go about. Because those who is selected knows they are talented. But why didn't they say selected? There is a reason for it. coach. So they should work hard. So I thought that day कि tomorrow if I get rejected from somewhere, I will know कि ये मेरे साथ एक दिन अच्छा भी हुआ था, आज ये हो गया. So एक coach या दो club will not decide. So my from that day to today, so it was 2019, it's been 24. I've been trying to work through from my end, either in football and both in athletics and academics, what's in my hand. So that discipline, I think being in very young age when I got this lesson, physically seen कि कई बार आपसे अच्छे लोग भी नहीं होते और आप हो जाते हो क्योंकि आपकी जो strength है वो अलग है. So I believe that's something that I want to continue for whole life.
Okay. So Odisha में आपने खेला कितना seasons?
I played 4 seasons over there.
अच्छा. And then
I played for under 18, I played for reserve team, then I got selected for India under 19 camp, which was in Bhubaneswar. And then I got my shoulder injury in 2022. I had to go back to the camp again, but I was not able to because I had a Bankart injury, which was very serious. So after that, I came back and started playing with Garhwal Heroes senior team. We played for 3rd division and Delhi Premier League, where we got champion as well.
Okay, this is just the last season.
Yes, this is the last season.
Okay, उसके बाद तो फिर scholarship
Yes,
वाली
I
process
mean, you see this way that the last year I was injured, and the next year I am the champ. We became the champion of Delhi. I was part of that team. So it's in football, one day is something else, next day is something else. One day you feel like you will be the best player, and the next day you doubt yourself. So I think it's mix of emotions. So you need to be calm and neutral.
ये resilience कहाँ से आता है? यही तो बात है.
I mean, just that's something where the boarding when you stay in the residential, you see people practically through your eyes. He's developing and he's growing, and you see people who is not growing. What's the reason? I mean, we do talk. Okay, he's busy doing phones or this that. Okay, he was working, and I remember there are few players who were with us. Carlos, he plays for Trao. I mean, he was very hardworking, and we can see all that. Even this time also he plays for Trao, but he comes to BBFS with us and he trains over there. So you see certain things that he's working and he's getting the result. Not this year, 2 years, 3 years down the line. Karthik was there.
Yeah.
When I was in BBFS, he was not too great player. I mean, he was a good player, but he worked so hard. He's not only in football. I mean, his personality also developed that too in Vedas. So that was very nice place for us. And for me, that place, if you were talking about the resilience, I mean, very practical experiences can make you mentally strong and make you understand how this soccer thing works. Because when you are staying at home and going, you are just looking at your journey, and someone who's coming in the academy for certain number of hours, what's their off the field routine, you are not aware. You don't get as much time to know that person. But when you are in the academy, you get mentally so strong that even if you decide to leave football or you continue football, you take it with your head high.
Okay, so you're saying these जब लोगों का experiences देखता है, obviously I agree with you because you are with peers, you're seeing what they are experiencing also. You don't. I mean, we don't all just learn from our experiences in life, है ना? We learn from the experiences of others also. That's really great. So इसमें एक चीज again that we had briefly touched upon earlier when we were speaking. A lot of us go through life experiencing things, but कई बार हम सोचता नहीं है उसके बारे में. Basically कि इससे मैं क्या सीखूं, ये भी सोचना बहुत ज़रूरी है ना? What we refer to as reflection or learning. तो वो consciously करता है या फिर has it become like a natural process for you?
So basically you are asking me that how does, I mean,
हाँ, मतलब ये awareness कैसे होता है? जैसे आपने बोला कि मैं किसी और के experience से sometimes you see and you don't, I mean, आप जैसे और भी बच्चे रहता है हमारे साथ, है ना? So इसका मतलब ये नहीं कि the other kids are not learning. What I'm trying to say is, do you make it a conscious effort to learn? वो learning is top priority?
So ma'am, basically, I mean, I was in CRPF school and I got to know there are Gaurav Bura, Rohit Kumar, Anuj Kumar, a lot of players went to become a professional player. But I also looked who didn't got to the professional, and that number was very big. So I got to know that okay. So and what was the difference at that time with who were also trying to become professional? They just looked at the score numbers, and then who didn't got, they don't look up to them. So I started speaking to them, and my brother was also there. So I asked that why those players didn't go. So just he told me that they were not consistent, not disciplined, and there were some who were like Rohit Bia was started very late but very consistent, very hard working. Even in the summer breaks, he used to stay in the hostel and practice, and he got the results very late. So I believe from that point only I got to know that this sports thing will give you result in a longer period. Even when I started playing, so we do gymming and also, I mean, when 2019-20, when I was doing, takes 3, 4, 5, 6 months, and any skill also you craft, and I was learning. So I thought I want to learn this, and I thought how will I do, and it took me 3 months, and then I made it. It was for muscle memory for me. So I believe those skills and all these things you need to, when you look up to seniors, when you speak to them, and you assess, you use the word assessment, when you assess the situation, then you get a better idea, then you work towards it, that what's right and what's wrong, then it makes your decision very easy, and then to back that decision is also more productive and more helpful, because you have done your research. Now this is the way to go about it.
बेसिकली सिचुएशंस को आप बोल रहे हैं असेस करो, समझ लो, फिर डिसीजंस ले लो, या फिर अंडरस्टैंड करो, है ना? हाँ, ठीक है. I mean, it shows because like I said, when we were interacting earlier also, I got the sense that you have consciously made interacting and learning, and and you've taken the effort to do it. कि जिससे भी मैं interact कर रही हूँ, मैं उनसे कुछ सीखूँ, है ना? And I think that's actually a commendable, I would say, वो एक skill है, मुझे लगता है, जो काफी लोग, मतलब हम भी we try and do this in all of our interactions, but because you're so young, and I think it's really great that you have already doing it, because this is the way. There's no running away from it. I mean, इसी से हम सीखता है. So yeah. So any advice for our young players who are listening to us, who probably are thinking of taking the similar path?
I'll just say, ma'am, that from my own experience when I was in Vedas, I mean, I spoke to some of the senior players that I'm not sure of the football and maybe where will it take me. I think saying this in residential academy or even to your coach, they refer it that you are mentally weak, or you won't be able to go pro. I believe you need to be, if you are playing soccer, if you any day feel like you can't go pro, or you can't be play for the club you want to, then you need to be open with your parents and family. Because I have seen a lot of players who don't, who knows inside of them कि हम नहीं खेल सकते, and they don't look for the neutral, another next option, that what else should I do. So I'll just say in short and long that keep researching, keep looking for all the option for yourself, and always remember that your journey is different, so your path should be different. So you have to make sure maybe someone going to a residential academy of Sona will go pro, and because there is they have a very good football ground, they have a special dedicated goalkeeper coach, so good for goalkeeper. But maybe one academy will just dedicated for this kind of player, this branch. So you need to look for your option, research, and then do. And then when you decide to play, then if you get doubts, then also it's okay, you can talk to coaches and family. And my experience, so I know they'll say, now I'll tell you, when I was talking and telling people that I want to go to US here and there, they were making fun, they were laughing, kaise this, that, tu mentally weak hai, tu give up kar diya. But I'm not giving up, I'm going there. I will now work, now I'm mentally sorted. Now for next 4 years, my target will be to get a degree and work hard and make a name and play for university, and it will help me. So yeah, I mean, lot of people will say a lot of things, but you have to make sure that what's your strength, what you want to do in life.
So basically आप बोल रहे हैं कि अगर आपको कहीं पे भी स्टॉप लगाना है, प्रॉपर रिसर्च करो, समझ लो, दूसरा ऑप्शन ढूंढो, there is nothing wrong in saying perhaps this is not the route I want to take.
Exactly.
हाँ, that's true. किसी का प्रेशर तो किसी के दबाव में आके डिसीजन तो लेना नहीं चाहिए वैसे भी, है ना?
Exactly.
This was very, very interesting conversation, Suryansh. Thank you so much for your time. Once again, we wish you all the very best. A whole new world is opening up for you. All the best.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for having me here.